Good morning and welcome to FYI. I am Giretta Fernandez with you this morning. Welcome to For Your Information. It is the ending of March. Believe it or not, folks, we have gone through 3 months already in this year. 2022 is going by so quickly. I know that everyone had so many New Year's resolutions and all of those things, but I hope you guys will have an opportunity to meet those. And I keep saying, if you don't schedule it, it will not get done. Make sure that you do your schedule, do those check box, and make sure that you are on your way to an excellent month when it comes to the month of April. Guys, as we get into this morning's conversation, I see Beatrice here this morning early. Good morning to you, Beatrice, and all the other folks out there, the FYI family. Beatrice, what are you doing this morning? I see Beatrice is saying thankful Thursday. I'm here again. Yes, thankful Thursday indeed. That's a nice way to put it over. Thankful Thursday. We're almost at the end of the week. Tomorrow is Friday, guys, but we have a whole lot more to get done. A whole lot is going on as usual. It's quite surprising that every single day we come, but we're yet to see, we're yet to have a pause in the train of events every single day. We have new things to talk about. So much going on out there. I see Judith is on order this morning. Judith, David, good morning to you, Judith. What's going on over there in Bartica? How are you having this morning? What are you having for breakfast? Judith always have the most exciting breakfast that she gets up and she prepares. Bartica has a lot going on. The Bartica Speedboat Association have its own level of craziness still unfolding there. Judith, what's going on with that? What are your feelings and thoughts to that matter altogether? Let us know there in the comment section. Roxanne Aaron, good morning to you, Roxanne. How are you this morning? I see it's Angela Abrams is on this morning. I see is it Shakira Phillips. Good morning, Shakira. I think you Shakira may be joining us from the US this morning, if I'm reading that correctly. Dave Durrell is here with us this morning. Good morning to you, Dave. How are you this morning? Dave, you take the time out to join us every morning. We're so very thankful for that. Well, you know your duties. You know how it is. The first thing you need to do is share the live stream. If you don't share the live stream, you have not been diligent in helping everyone to get the information. So I need you all to be very diligent this morning. Share the live stream, and then let us get into all the conversation that we're about to embark on. Diane Graves Zandy, good morning to you. Diane, I see Marina White is here with us this morning also. Claire Capel is here with us this morning. I see, is it Randij, one woman this morning? I see. Okay, yes, you're just seeing me this morning. For now, just moments away from seeing Mr. Duncan. I think he's making it a practice to jump in after. So all good with that. Well, Judith is having roti and egg leaf with and belange choker this morning. Judith, always on top of her game when it comes to breakfast. I'm going to be coming over by Judith tomorrow morning to get some breakfast over there. So I see Andrew. Caleb is here this morning. I see Andrew's joining us from New York. Guys, where are you joining us from? Let us know. Anyone in here from Region 1, Region 2, Region 8, Region 9? Let us know in the comment section. And if they're not persons from those areas, come on, guys, share the stream to your friends and relatives that live in those regions as well. And around the world, of course. I see Vashti is on. Sheridan is coming late to class these days. Vashti, you haven't been telling him what you need to tell him to get him here early, girl. Vashti is joining us from Waterloo this morning. Dave is saying him special good morning to you two, Jaretta and Beatrice Selby. So Dave is there. Dave is in the comment section speaking to both myself and Beatrice in the comments. Good morning to you, Dave, and all the folks that catch up in the comment section. I see Diana is joining us from Linden, all the wonderful folks from Linden. I love Linden. I have a very, very special place in my heart for Linden. I see Warren Figuera is here this morning. Good morning to you, Warren. And what's going on over there in Long Island? I know Warren, but hopefully you're joining from Long Island. I don't know these days with Warren. I see Rhonda Spencer Tom is here this morning with us also. Good morning to you, Rhonda. And guys, just take a pause. This is a pause for you to share the live stream. Make sure that you do your bit and share. Just take one breath and click that share and let us get the day going. Maureen Chester Paul is here. Maureen is joining us from Brooklyn. So, what are you guys having for breakfast? Let's get into the conversation of it this morning. Guyanese breakfast is very is a bit of very diverse breakfast you can have. Different regions, different tastes, different menus. So I see Judith has shared with us this morning that she's in Region 7 and she's doing her own thing with Blanche Choker this morning. What's going on in Linden? What are the Lindeners having for breakfast this morning? What are folks in Borbeast having for breakfast this morning? I see Delaware is in the house also. Rudolph Beaton is joining us in Delaware. Hey, Rudolph, good morning to you. How's the weather over there this morning? Deborah also is here. Deborah's joining us from New York also. I'm not sure what's going on with my screen. The guys in the background are going to be looking at that. Okay, guys, I think we had a little bit of technical mishap there for a second. Never mind with that. Let's get back to the program. Karen Gordon is here this morning with us. Karen, how are you? Karen, I am good. I am good. And how are you beautiful folks out there? Karen is asking this morning. I see Mr. Augustus is here. Good morning from Hillside Avenue. All right, so I need to get my my tourism schedule in order and actually touch base with some of you guys on the ground. Very much so. Mr. John Jones is here with us this morning. I like the fact that you put the Mr. in front of there. Have persons address you properly. Sean Carter, good morning to you, Sean. You're joined. It's cold in London. Okay, Sean, let me tell you, I'm not gonna lie. I wish if it was a little more colder here this morning as well. And I see, is it Stacy Mattis? Hey, Stacy, good morning to you. How are you this morning? Ingrid Crawford, good morning, Ingrid. Ingrid says, Sheridan's waking up late these few mornings. I wonder why. Well, girl, you got to ask him when he gets online. He's going to be telling you all the little details about his lateness. I'm not going to speculate. I see Anthony Nicholson is also here. Anthony said, wait, shared late again. So, 3 days in a row. I
like them overturing.
He's coming on. He's coming on.
I like them overturing. Sorry to be late, guys. Sorry. Apologies.
He's coming with apologies. Sorry to be late, he says.
I hear now. So, Carry on, smart.
I like to welcome my co-host Sherry Duncan to this morning's program. You know, Sherry, this is the end of the month. Are you going to change your ways for the new month?
Yes, yes. There's no April Fool's joke. Yes, we're going to try to change.
Oh my God.
We're going to try to change.
It's April Fool's. Oh my God.
Tomorrow is the first. Tomorrow is the first. Believe it or not.
I didn't have anything planned for that.
Morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, folks. Good to be here. And happy to see so many of you out so early.
Most definitely. I see John said the big man has arrived. Well, now Sheridan is going to encourage you to share and smash the emoji because this is his part. This is his signature move. He has done some copyright. Share, he has done some copyright. Share and smash.
Dorita.
I do not do that. I don't do that. Oh my goodness.
Good to see you, folks. Good to see Esther Pollard is here. Esther, how are you doing? Beatrice Selby is here. Deborah Seeley's here. Lots of folks. Sandra Ford, Esther Pollard, Joyce Prince, Annette Ferguson. Annette, how are you doing?
Oh, boy.
Good to see you, Annette. Good to see you. Annette, you should be on this side of the camera.
I miss you, Annette.
You should be on this side of the screen.
I'm not going to lie.
I miss you, Annette. Good to see you. Dan Gravesand is here as well. Eye Candy, Lisa. You see this Eye Candy business?
Never send a photo, right?
Never send a picture. Never. So we can judge objectively. You know, good to see Andrew. Andrew's here as well. Abiola, gone by so fast. Amos Linton and Deborah Seeley. All of you beautiful folks. Deborah, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to have you this morning. Good to have you, Deborah. Marlon Thomas. Good to have all of you fantastic folks. Lots of stuff making the papers this morning, Trina. Lots of things. Lots of things.
Like I'm feeling hot this morning.
You're feeling hot?
I'm telling you.
You're looking hot. You don't worry.
No, I'm feeling hot.
You
like
just go ahead and physically hot.
Yeah, physically hot. Like I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I could use some of the coal over there from Canada.
The time of your life.
Guys, you see me touching my nose just because I feel a little hot and.
But you want to visit tissue? Can I get visit tissue? Is it possible?
I don't know. You can. The kitchen is functional.
Right. Functional, folks. Functional. You see, I always have to shout, you know. Always.
When you're late, you gotta
Here
make
for my
up.
looks.
Come on, guys. You know he's not here for his looks, as he just said himself.
Here for my looks.
Roxana Feroz Khan, hey
Watch this down
Feroz,
now.
how are you? Thank you.
Put in Twitter the spot there. Yep.
I can't say there's lots of photos on my timelines. You don't go out there scanning the young lady.
Also photo. All right. Watch. When you go in the profile, you can see updated 2 hours ago. Well, we check. We want to see the updated photographs. We invite you.
Oh my god.
All right, we watching you now. Marlon Camini Van Veen, good to see you. What's Marlon's comment? Oh, Marlon is very suggestive this morning. Very suggestive.
Hot flashes.
Yeah. She's at a time in her life. That sensitive period. That very sensitive time. Cameron Augusta says nice weather in New York today.
Yes.
Prince Roger and all the other folks says what? Y'all two should cook a cup.
Cook up.
We got in there. Hold on, man. Why you peeping the carrots? Hold on. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm still stuck on a Compton.
We come in there.
I see Deborah is living the life. Deborah say I'm here frying some plantain and fried eggs with some bush tea.
We economy you living in, Deborah? Plantain.
I haven't had plantain in how long?
A long time.
Very long.
A long time.
I'm not even joking.
What is a plantain?
I kid you not. I
It's
haven't had that.
a long time now. We're not some plantain. There's a lot in the papers this morning. A lot in the morning papers. And we might want to get to that. So the guys know what's happening. Lots happening in the region, internationally, at home. Lots of stuff happening. Yep.
A lot of things happening. I see someone is just ringing.
You can't call us now. Your behave yourself, man. She really says she's feeling hot. The other, she phone suddenly starts ringing.
Oh my goodness.
Right? But lots of stuff happening on the morning papers. And if we might start there, Drita. I'm going
to go through the headlines.
No.
I'm going to go through the morning headlines as I was going through it just before I came on the program. And one of the things that I see is 7 homeless after a Blairmont blaze. And what I can tell you also is that I read a piece of a headline in another news outlet that said the 4-year-old is being blamed for that for setting up fires. So
yeah, this is
most interesting because you're not supposed to have children anywhere close to in proximity of anything that is dangerous and flammable that could cause such a level of harm. I see a very important discussion to be had. 150 million lawsuits filed against lawyer who allegedly abused female cop. That's more to be discussed on that. Foreigners using a local. I've been looking at that before, and I think. Okay, here it is. Contractor bids 10 million below engineers estimate to extend boathouse, and it's coming through the GRA. So I don't. That is a bit that caught my attention this morning, guys. I know Sherrod is looking at a different bit of headlines this morning, so I'm going to allow him to just go through some of those.
And part of what we're seeing, in addition to what you just said, is that foreigners are using the local content policy. Foreigners are using locals to get around the local content policy. You know, when we ask the guys in the National Assembly, our colleagues in the National Assembly, so let us look at this more comprehensively. No. They want to rush it through.
Explain to me this.
They want to rush it through.
That Pamela Johnson comment.
Right? Pamela Johnson says, my daughter, you're looking perky. What does that mean?
I'm trying to think about it. Perky.
Yeah, we trying here with best for the news. Pamela. How are you doing, Pamela? Might I go on? Yeah. So they're contending, the government that is, that foreigners are using locals to get around the local content regulation. And this is just a couple of days. Remember, this was passed in December.
Yeah.
And this is only a couple of days since the legislation passed. And already people are finding loopholes. Well, if we rush it through the National Assembly, you didn't get the benefit of a proper, robust debate to engage the other side, to engage civil society widely. This is what you get.
Yeah.
Right? You're getting what you paid for. So they're lamenting about foreigners using locals. People will find ways to make money. The Chile system is a natural thing.
On that point, I must say that we spoke about this during the debates in the National Assembly. This is one of the points that we brought out. And basically, the PP administration was not willing to basically do anything to rectify those very, very serious issues. But what we would find is that yes, you have this local content policy, and I just want to say that the local content policy, it wasn't something that was any major dispute in the National Assembly, but more so the aspects of it that was asked to tighten up and those things, because everyone is interested in local content altogether. However, I know that the issue that we're seeing right now is yes, you have this policy that persons, Guyanese are supposed to be able to benefit from in terms of setting up businesses and so forth. However, if they don't have the resources and mechanism in line for them to actually acquire the resources to set up these businesses, that is what you're going to see going on, because persons from overseas are going to come and register things in person's name here, just as a sham, because it coming through, they benefit from the local content policy, and the people that are here that don't have the resources to go out into the business themselves will be found guilty of those actions.
And that was happening on that front. Sadly. But again, if you rush the thing through because you want things your way, well, this is what you get for it. Another piece of information: Minister Barrett says his mum on this Payara audit, the $9 billion. We've been pushing them to get this audit done. When the last administration was in, they had no problems doing the audit. They had to audit, I think, about $4 or $5 billion. They had no problem. The audit was done and the findings submitted. Now you got the audit now for this other $9 billion, and that is the prior audit. And Minister Barrett is silent. Minister of Natural Resources.
Yeah, Vikram Barrett.
So he's not saying much.
Vikram don't say much ever. Vikram goes out there, put a smile on his face.
Big smile.
99% of the time, don't really say anything.
Minister
so that's
smile.
how he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in addition to that, some other stuff, it bring you away from local stuff. Carry out for now. Jarita, and I thought this one would appeal to Jarita. Okay. When we saw this headline, I said, this is right.
I know what this is.
Right up Jarita alley.
But I don't.
Brides Magazine. Brides Magazine. Ranks the Cayman Islands as a top island to get married. Brides Magazine. A top place to get married.
I think the lights
just say. Folks, one of the lights just seemed to have popped, and then Jarita started coughing. That's a sign. Cayman Islands is there. Touch me, partner.
Listen.
That's a touch me. Cayman Islands. That's Bright Magazine ranks Cayman Islands. Over to you now.
What do you mean? Like, listen.
I'm listening all the time. All was listening. The hundreds of us listening.
Okay. God for Brides Magazine and all the future brides, but you just don't go there. I'm very traditional. So therefore, I'm not like those women who would get down on their knees and pop the question to the man, all sorts of things happening these days. Listen, y'all.
You want the question to be popped?
I am very traditional. So you have a list of things that you have to go through in order for us to get to that point, You can't just arrive at that point.
Arrive alive.
Right? So you have to do, folks, listen, when I say I'm traditional, anybody that knows me personally would know that that's how I am. Very simple, very humble, and extremely traditional when it comes to family values and things like all of that, marriage and all of that. So I believe that there are certain things that people have to do in order to get to that point.
If I've ever heard a technical response of a politician, that is it. This is like Bill Clinton. What's the definition of is?
Oh my goodness!
You heard that? So Cayman Islands.
Warren, all in.
Oh, Warren is there. Warren, what are you saying? I'm very interested in Warren's. Warren has showing a diamond ring there. I think it is. Lovely, Warren. Lovely. That's the first step.
Oh my goodness.
First step. But
most
again, folks, those of you who are considering it, the Cayman Islands, according to Brides Magazine, ranks Cayman Islands. Brides Magazine ranks Cayman Island. I'll pick up a subscription.
Okay.
Ranks Cayman Island as the top island to get married. Yep. Now they tell me this. Now.
Well, listen. When you want to keep secrets, like I like to keep secrets, I would get married. You wouldn't even know. You probably just
I got what you know.
I ring on my finger, pop up someday, and that's it.
Just that you slip off the Cayman Islands quietly. But this next bit of information, right? Would afford people to go to Cayman Islands, and we're picking this up out of this is St. Lucia.
I can't wear back this dress.
And the news site is Look News. It's Look News. What? What's being said now?
I'm checking my comments section.
Which one?
Lots of them.
All right. Kieran Hughes says that Miss Rita looks tickly, but proper.
You know, Kieran is the person
I
looking
give
for
up now.
practical trouble.
The show's y'all. Y'all talk with y'all one talk. It's y'all show. Talk with y'all one talk. Right? So this will afford people now to be able to go to the Cayman Islands. And these are people living in St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
The Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J. Pierre, I think it's Jean Pierre. Jean-Pierre. Queen's Ishmael. Public sector wages will increase from April 2022.
What's the cost of the tickets?
This is St. Lucia, folks, and they said, but there's a particular part of this article that interests me.
Yeah.
It says from April of this year, knowing the effects of the pandemic, imported inflation, and so on, they're going to increase public sector wages. But this is what stood out to me, guys, in this article here. It says, public servants will be pleased to note that government will be keeping the promise made by the former administration.
That happens?
The opposition.
That happens?
Right? The government in St. Lucia will be keeping the promise made by the former administration and pay the increase in salaries at the end of April 2022. That was refreshing to me.
Oh my goodness.
That was refreshing to me. Them folks that we know would broke up the bus from the past administration, left the boat to dry rot.
Yeah.
From the past administration.
That's how they operate.
Right. Left the building half finished from the past administration. But here in St. Lucia, like they're different. Like it's aliens in St. Lucia.
Realistic, progressive.
Right? Progressive, you call it. They say we will fulfill the promise the last administration made.
Because they're simply saying that when the election has come and gone, after that, it's all about countries instead of us against you and all of those nonsense.
I think we should invent something named continuity of government.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
That looks like a good idea, folks. What do you guys think? Continuity.
I am seeing like
right? Brian says, Judy outfit got me like, and it's love in the eyes. Right?
I'm not wearing it back. I swear.
Judy outfit got me like, I hope John Doe listening and watching.
Oh my goodness.
Warren, waiting, boy. Right, so this was happening in St. Lucia. Their folks are increasing salaries so they can go to the Cayman Islands, Rita, to get married. Because they'll have the disposable income, as you would put it. Okay. We would say we got more money in we pocket. We can go to the extra mile. Have disposable income. But that being said, moving further out from the region, this is the 36th day of that invasion of Ukraine.
Yes.
The 36th day, and the Russia attacks on Ukraine continue, according to what we're picking up in the media, despite the pledge from Russia to pull back. That's been 36 days in. I don't think Russia expected to be out here so long.
Well, I think that
underestimated the enemy.
Yeah, and they don't want to use a certain level of force.
Doesn't happen the same year, you know. You're worrying about dress, underestimate things. Yeah, I mean problems.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Yeah, worry about dress. Let's just get you carried away. 36 days in. How's it looking for Russia? Take note. 36 days in.
36 days.
36.
As we move on.
Yeah. That being said, finally in the morning papers, Trump brazenly, it says here, asked Putin to release dirt on Biden's family. Brazenly.
So Trump doesn't have it?
Right. Brazenly says it's probably the first time, well, not for Trump, but the first time somebody would ask a sworn adversary of the state, a senior functionary like Trump, to release dirt on the political opponent.
Trump is a very weird politician altogether. I think that
he's different.
He's very much different. Like there's certain things I believe that person will never ever do and say, and he goes into it.
Yep.
Well, he does say climate change is a hoax.
I think Trump is a hoax. But that being said, folks, we're on the trend. We're on the trend, guys. We're on the trend, and besides internationally, right? Not only Trump different, the Haitians different.
The Haitians.
Haitians
Oh yes,
different.
my goodness, yes.
The Haitians different. We're on the morning trend, folks. And we start with Haiti. The Haitians different. You know those guys, they got some high prices hitting them too. Right? Like
Hitting them different.
they got their own jacobats and trench crapots to deal with. So some high prices hitting them. But when them guys in Haiti say boots on the ground,
oh my goodness.
it's boots on the ground.
I don't think that's boots alone. That's a whole lot of things in
Right.
addition to boots.
So them guys get vexed and just burn up a whole plane.
But this look what
Hold it there
plane,
first, guys.
the type of plane that
Yeah,
they're born.
they
So
just get vexed.
they
Burn up a whole
it
plane.
says there that the Haiti protester burnt plane belonging to U.S. missionary group, the U.S. missionary group, and that is very concerning altogether because I think it was none other than Zelensky was talking about. I don't know what's going on there with those sounds, but I think it was none other than Zelensky was talking about war crimes and all of those things when basically he was saying that there are certain things that is not acceptable even if you're in a war. Haiti is not in any war or anything like that, but Haiti, there are some issues there, and the protesters actually got to the point of burning a plane belonging to a U.S. missionary group as being reported, and that is something that is very concerning because when it comes to missionary groups and so missionary groups and so forth. Sharon making trouble in the background. Sharon is making a lot of trouble.
Haiti different.
Yes.
I'm stop making trouble now.
Yes.
So the folks say they don't like the high prices and they just torch a whole plane. Boots on the ground means different things.
But anyway, I'm not trying to get the correlation between that. Like, how does the high prices and the missionary?
They're upset. Well, it was a form of protest. They were basically saying, we're gonna mash up stuff. You better put something in place. Lots of trouble there in Haiti, and we wish them the best. CARICOM has to step in and do more. Right? CARICOM has to step in and do more. Haiti is a sister CARICOM country, a brother CARICOM country, but Haiti's been slipping back and forth, and we got to, we need to do something for Haiti, honestly. For political stability in Haiti. Well, the people torch the plane.
You're talking, and all I can think about is that I want to tie my hair up.
Go ahead. Make yourself happy. so that's what's happening in Haiti, folks.
I don't know what's going on with my temperature.
Internationally, and coming back now, locally, well, this one is interesting, guys. This one is interesting. I don't know. Let me make sure that we're in the right spot. Let me make sure we're in the right spot. Yeah, the whole conversation has now turned back to Nigel Damerel. Let's start there. And there was a big conversation recently in the National Assembly where Nigel Damerel uttered a lot of disparaging remarks towards women. The most notable is, you need a dildo.
Yeah.
Right?
But he went and lie afterwards and say that he was aiming it towards you.
Yeah. I wasn't even in I was even in the what do you call it? In the dome.
Yes.
Of the National Assembly at the Artichoke Convention Center when he made that comment. So he could not have been talking to me. I wasn't even in the dome prior to the comment.
Yeah, but that's what
as a matter of fact, that's one of the comments that took me into the dome.
But that's what he reported. I think it's important.
That's what he reported. A big fat lie. And lots of organizations came out and said that those comments amounted to sexual harassment in the workplace. Because they're parliamentarians, you're employed by Parliament, it is the workplace. And here he's making all kinds of sexual remarks to female MPs. And this was nationally being broadcasted, Believe it or not, nationally being broadcasted. Well, a young woman has come forward and made some damning allegations of sexual misconduct against Nigel Damerel. Some very, very damning allegations. And the president apparently responded last night when he was asked, or last evening when he was asked about these allegations. He said, you can go and complain to the police. That's what he said. You can go and complain to the police. He said they are mechanisms to be used to deal with issues like this, and those persons who feel aggrieved, who have allegations, can go and make a report to the police. I think you're for under a lot of stress, You got Jagdio for dealing with Trinidad. You just turn your back. You got Jagdio for dealing with Trinidad. Here again is Diamond. I feel stressed. I feel that was an off-the-cuff remark. Very stupid remark. Very silly remark. And I don't know. You can go and complain to the police. This is a minister in your cabinet.
Yeah. But I spoke about, and yesterday we had a conversation about having issues with of such nature of with folks that are, and I use the term clothed in state power. So it is beyond ridiculous,
Yeah,
unacceptable, most disturbing for if an Ali to make a comment like that. It is irresponsible
yeah,
to the highest level. And I want to remind folks that when we were talking about conduct in public office, especially when it comes to sexual misconduct, there are different avenues. And when it comes to sexual harassment and those things, those are things that you take to the police. But when it comes to sexual misconduct, when you're referring to conduct in public office, that is something that he has to deal with. That is a member of his
yeah.
cabinet. He has to deal with
The
that.
buck stops with him.
And when it comes, and yesterday I quoted from Article 8 of the Code of Conduct. And basically Article 8 was speaking specifically to sexual misconduct. And it says here that no person in public life shall, in the course of the performance of his or her official duties, pursue a course of conduct which he or she exploits his or her position or authority for sexual gratification. This is not something that the police have to deal with. This is something that he has to deal with. So he needs to edify himself on his role altogether before he go blatantly just spewing nonsense like that.
Yeah.
What level of representation are you giving as a man heading the country? What are you saying to women in this country altogether? You're saying that it's okay for any one of your cabinet ministers to go out there and to have and to have sexual misconduct throughout the length and breadth of the country, the world, wherever, and you will just say nothing about it because it is
Go
what
report
it
to the
is.
police.
You know,
Go and
it's
report
a
to the
very
police. Right?
dangerous message. It
You
needs
see,
to be
you
stand up
understand
again.
why a lot of women don't come forward.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yep.
That's man and woman story. Where you go to the police station?
Let me just say, right? You know what is most disturbing about it is the fact that that I see women out there, a lot of mothers and a lot of grown women without children, some with children, like I just said, mothers, out there under the some of the PPP's pages that are speaking about this matter, and they're basically trying to defend it, you know. And I can say that is why we're in this position that we're in, because people try to normalize things that are not normal. People try to normalize sexual misconduct at these levels. Those things are not normal. I keep saying that there's a difference between something that is criminal in nature and when it speaks to your conduct as a public servant at that level. It is way different. It's not something that you could be criminally charged for, but it is misconduct, it's a grave issue. We cannot just belittle it and throw water on it. So stop further victimizing victims.
Yeah.
That is the first thing. Stop further victimizing victims, you know, because you create that avenue, you create that system altogether that people don't want to come out and speak about certain things. You create the avenue that that says, even if in the churches, you know, there's so many leaders out in different denominations and so that have accusations against them, and it's so hush hush because women are afraid to go out and speak about it, because once it goes into the court of public opinion, you have a whole lot of people trying to come and say, oh, well, as a woman you should have known better, oh, as a woman you should have done it better. No, that's not the way. You know, as public officers, you have a responsibility to conduct yourself in a specific manner. That is why there's a code of conduct. And if you believe that you don't know how to conduct yourself, read the damn code of conduct.
Yep.
You know,
It's
it guides you.
It's a very serious issue, and they see the president being so flippant about it to say, complain to the police. Like we don't know,
Yeah.
right? The relationship between the current police administration and this administration. The police will not investigate anything if the people don't want them to investigate anything. Don't let's fool ourselves. There's nothing independent that's going to happen outside of the administration, you know, giving their sign of approval, right? Where we on the investigation, imagine in a police sting operation. The police had a sting operation in which they caught a PS accepting a bribe with the police, and now that is waiting a legal opinion. After she was charged, I think still receiving salary from the ministry on bail. Where's that?
My goodness.
Where's that? Awaiting a legal opinion. The police had a sting operation in which it was uncovered. The permanent secretary Sharon Hicks, Ministry of Indigenous Affairs, well, American Affairs now, got caught receiving a bribe, demanding bribes. Right? That waiting a legal opinion. Could you see what happens? What's going to happen with Darmla? You go to the police station and make a report.
Yeah, you could imagine the further victimization at that level.
Can you imagine what's going to happen there? But here is the president being so flippant about that. Go report it to the police.
Yeah.
Right? He don't even hear say, wow.
Yeah. That's why we're here. That's why we're where we are today.
We're in a bad place, folks.
But Warren is making a comment that's important. He said in this era of technology and smartphones, you cannot hide or sweep these things under the rug anymore. And that's why we're even having these discussions, you know, because prior to this, prior to these times of technology, the use of technology throughout the world, then you would not have been able to sit over there in the US and know what is going on over here. And information would have not be readily available as it is right now. Most definitely. Commissioner Cole is making sexual harassment is unlawful, yes, but the misconduct, like I'm saying, there's a difference, and the president himself have to deal with that. That is his cabinet member.
Yeah,
and he knows that. He knows.
We're in a bad place. We lost, you know. We lost. We drifting like that boat with no engine with the dead people. We drifting like that. 2 nautical miles per hour. Nobody can find me. We lost. We drifting. The man said, "Go complain to the police. Make a time with her." Money got make. Let me go on. Right? That being said, folks, that being said, you know, we're following this whole issue about the waivers of the environmental impact assessments from these big projects, the new Demerara Harbour Bridge being the most recent, right? That's like Darmlal, you know. You're supposed to have some stringent things in place and you're waiving them. Right? A good investigation, you know, set out a little bit from public life, Darmlal. Until the investigation is done. The president just waive it. He just waive it. So a lot of projects we've been following, and the most recent, again, is the new Demerara Harbour Bridge. As a matter of fact, same Mr. Ali said that he didn't read the studies, but he know one got no
it's
impact
a
on the environment. It's a no-brainer. It won't have no impact on the environment. The new Harbour Bridge, huge structure like that, sitting out there in the Demerara River. It won't got no problem. It won't got no problem. I haven't read it yet, but I believe we won't have any problems. That's what he said. But, you know, there is this issue with these EIAs. And in addition to that, a number of other projects. I think we have a graphic for that. A number of other projects. They've been waiving EIAs. You know, this is now more of the rule than the exception. Right? It's more the rule to waive the EIAs than there's the exception. Look at the amount of projects that they have waived this very, very important process of determining whether a project of this magnitude will be good for the population. You know, what will be the effects on marine life, biodiversity, all of that it looks at, right? But we see consistently a number of projects. Could we have the guys? A number of projects, they've been waiving it. The new Demerara Harbour Bridge, the oil exploration in the Kanji block. They're supposed to have an EIA. They have waived that. They want to sell oil to gas waste treatment facility at Coverdon. They waived the EIA for that. This is how they're breaking down this country now, broken it up. All these safeguards they're removing. A proposed Marriott branded hotel at Goodford Acton. They waived the EIA for that. All of you see why we said it's more of the rule now than the exception. This 12-well exploration of the Kanji block, they waived the EIA for that. Money got make. Superior Concrete Company, they waived the EIA for that. Even the gas to shore project for Wales, we're being told there's supposed to be a purpose-built facility study. They ain't got time with that. This is the one in which Mr. Jagger himself said, that's a no-brainer. This thing can go. This thing will work well.
Well, you don't have to ask what is going to go on there.
Thanks, guys.
You don't have to ask what's going to go on there.
So it is more the exception than the rule. How do we safeguard our people? You know, from the likes of Darmlal and so on. Yeah. How do we safeguard our people from big projects that could be harmful to them? A waste facility in a residential area. No, that doesn't harm nobody, man. Just like your ex-boss when I have nobody. That little seepage, what does that have to do with anything?
My goodness.
No. So you waive all of the permits, you waive the EIAs, you waive the, all the other processes that ensures that this thing is viable, right? And that it is good for us, good financially, good socially, good environmentally. No, you waive all of that. You're going to hunch. This is a no-brainer. So we're following that.
And that's why we are where we are, because persons deal with these things in this method. And I have to say, this is something you have been speaking about for a very long time. From day one, you picked up the issue and you're going with it. And persons, I see a lot of the technical experts are coming on right now and starting to speak up against it. So guys, this is why we do what we do. This is why I shared guests out there. I dare say 3 times per day. And bring this information out, because it's very important. Okay. And if not, I'm serious about it. And sometimes you have to give credit where due. And a lot of the issues that people pick up with after the fact is things that that you've been discussing for a very long time. So this is why we do what we do: get the information out there, be the voice on issues that persons are not speaking about. And thankfully, the more we speak about these matters, it gets out there, the experts picks up on it. So I just want to say, well, good job.
Correct is right. You know what else we've been talking about? We have been talking consistently on this program about driving safely.
Oh my goodness.
About road safety, using the road with care and caution, but some people aren't hearing. And so yesterday we saw this scene on the Avenue of the Republic. A car just plunged in the city trench.
Like nothing, Another day on the dam.
Another day.
See, there you have it. And I see the firefighters actually was on scene, working hard to get persons out of there, doing their bit. So kudos to those respondents that was out there doing their job. But again, we have to say, drivers need to be careful.
Yep. Drivers need to be careful. What they said. We should have discussed this when we were talking about Damlal, but the Alliance for Change had a very, very scathing open letter to the president on the Damlal situation. If we should just circle back to that, we should have had it closer to that issue. But it's absolutely relevant. The women's arm for the Alliance for Change. I wonder what happened to the women's arm for the PPP. They also only come out conveniently.
And there were a list of women's.
And Reverend Pat Sheraton.
I thought you made a list of some people at one point.
Reverend Pat Sheraton is one of them. A couple others. Even the Prime Minister, I have a lot to say. Right. Priya Manikchan, convenient voices of convenience. And here is what the Alliance for Change said. Here's what they said on the issue of Nigel Damlal. They said Nigel Damlal needs to be removed. Let me start here. Nigel Damlal needs to be removed. That's what they said. The Women for Change find it most disgusting, as we are sure you do, that any person holding public office would behave in such a manner. To say it is conduct unbecoming would be putting it mildly. It is repulsive, repugnant, disgusting, shameful, and most undignified and dishonorable. When the accusations against Minister Damlal is taken into consideration with his dildo comment in the National Assembly and Facebook post in December of 2021, addressing 2 of our eminent female judges, his general approach indicates contempt for women. This is totally unacceptable from a minister.
I couldn't have said it better.
It is representative of the PPP and who they are. Right? And just last evening, on our other affiliate program In the Ring, I was asking the question, how is it, Jurita, there are certain kind of people attracted to the PPP and always find, not only attracted to, but they always find acceptance. Right? The ilks of Damlal, in which this missive from the women's arm, the Women's for Change, the women's arm of the AFC says they find it repulsive, repugnant, disgusting, shameful, and most undignified and dishonorable.
I could not have said it in any better words myself. That is what it is. That is what it is.
You know what the better words the president had? report it to the police.
Yeah. Yeah. Report it to the police.
Right? Report it to the police. Because again, this is how women are treated in this country. A women's organization. We can get the man and woman story.
Yeah.
Right? And the president has some additional comments too, which suggests that he knows more than we do clearly. Right? And hold on. They done it for us. I think give you the best part. The president seemed to be now secretary to Nigel Damrell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He seemed to be the secretary to Nigel Damrell.
Explain that, please.
Because reporters were saying apparently that they weren't being able to get in touch with Nigel Damrell. The president said he lost his phone.
Nigel Darman lost his phone.
Yes, and the president was conveying that message to the media.
He lost his phone.
He has lost his phone.
A certain minister.
Right? He lost his phone, his dignity, his character, his credibility, all of that is lost. That's the president conveyed to the media. He's lost his phone. That's the report I saw, for instance, in Demerara Waves.
So he's walking around with a computer to
Yes.
upload.
I wonder how the president makes contact with his ministers.
So he's walking around on the streets and so uploading his photos and so from somebody else's phone on social media.
Probably.
And his comments and stuff like that.
Probably.
Okay.
President said he lost his phone.
Look.
He's conveying that message on behalf. A sitting minister, folks, there's no place on earth like Guyana. No place. Be different.
You made a statement once before. I can't remember the exact word. I'll try to trigger your memory at this point on the spot. But you said that you once read somewhere, or you were told that once you accept something for a long period of time.
Yes.
What was that? What was that quote?
Beautiful lecture I had when I was on a graduate studying law. And if you folks know the University of Guyana, there was a little area, some flat buildings that were built when UG was now blossoming.
Oh, the stable. That was the comment.
The stables. And the lecturer referred to that stables. And she made a point I haven't forgotten these many years later. She said that building there was supposed to last for about 15 to 20 years. It's about 45 years. And students are still being housed there. She said, you know what is the problem? Women smart, you know.
Yeah.
Us men, it take a long time to figure it out.
That is so correct.
A long time.
So correct.
She said, when you settle for less, temporary becomes permanent.
Good. That's it. Say it again, Sharon.
When you settle for less, thanks for asking me to.
Yes.
Temporary becomes permanent.
No, I think because that came back to my mind because it's very significant, that particular comment, what is going on right now. When you settle for less, temporary becomes permanent. And that's why we cannot settle for less. We cannot let this become the new norm.
Yeah.
That we cannot let sexual misconduct while in public office become the new norm, because what is temporary, which persons may see as a temporary action, is definitely going to become something permanent, because in everything that is done, you are set, precedence is set. Oh, well, he did it, so you didn't reprimand him, so I can do it, and I should not be reprimanded either, because this is the new norm. And that's why I'm saying, that's why that came out to my mind. Once you settle for less, temporary becomes permanent. So kudos to the women's arm of the Alliance to Change for that.
Calling it
as it is. You know, calling it as it is. Just, you have to do it. At some point in time, these conversations have to be had.
Yeah.
At least we are 2-3 years further down the line, and we're in a situation that we cannot resolve. You have to nip it in the bud as it is. You cannot just let it go out of hand.
You know, there are political differences with political parties. And I don't think in all that is air finale, up until now, I've had the cause to say this, that I'm tremendously disappointed in him for this very offhand comment. Go report it to the police. Right? Go report it to the police. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what else could we expect for a fellow who doesn't like criticism? Doesn't take criticism very well. Go and report it to the police. I can imagine, you know, a woman coming to him and go and report it. There are steps to be followed. And this man sits in your cabinet. Not the first running as the letter articulated, the open letter to the president articulated. And I would repeat again, this action is reprehensible, repulsive, repugnant, disgusting, shameful, most undignified, and dishonorable. Right? When we start settling for less, temporary will become permanent. Y'all try with it. Right? Temporary become permanent. You know, let me quote something else. I heard years ago. I was watching a documentary on Mrs. Kennedy,
Yeah.
Jacqueline Kennedy, right? And after her husband died, former president of the U.S., Mr. Kennedy, he was assassinated. She remarried to a fellow named Onassis, and what he said once was instructive. It bears down on us, you know. He says, "Money don't buy class;
Yeah.
it's buy tolerance." Right? We can be a rich nation, but we ain't got no class. People tolerate we, right? Tolerate us. And I went through the paces with y'all. Looking at Trinidad, we be using Trinidad. Look, Trinidad, press conference.
Yeah.
Substantive. The people who are informative, the people who are the subject people for COVID out there telling you, rationalizing why they're opening back up. You just hear one day here, we open up, boom. That's it.
The data that was presented during that press conference to show that this is why we could open back up. It was most amazing to look at it with their medical correspondents. I cannot remember the direct.
There was the Prime Minister standing up for more than an hour and a half, talking to the nation.
Yes.
Right. These guys here don't like stand up. They don't have this stamina. And that's what we have been settling for less. We got a lot of money now, Jarita. We got billions in oil, a lot of money, but we ain't got no class.
We have many people in this country. We have many people in this country that have lots of money with no class ethics, you know.
No class whatsoever.
It's something that you learn about actually when you study. That I think sociology, my sociology lecturer, I think it was Mr. Hicks, would have talked about it. The fact that there are different social classes. And yes, there are persons at the very top in a class all by themselves, and it's hard to get into that class because in order to get there, you not just only have to have money, but you have to have money and class ethics. And there's so many persons that's just languishing beneath that because yes, they have money, but they have no class ethics. So they are yet to arrive where they so desire to be, because it's one thing for you to be going around there with money, but if you don't have the class ethics to accompany that, then what are you? What is your representation of life altogether? What is your meaning, purpose on this earth?
Yeah. You know, that's what we have happening, strangely enough. That's what we have happening, which takes us into the other aspect of our discussion, the big issue, the appointment of the Commissioner of Police. You know, I think that was the big issue. You know, the appointment of the Commissioner of Police. And you know what? I'll tell you this. I have nothing against Mr. Hickens. Nothing. All right. Mr. Hickens perhaps is a respectable fella. I hold him out to be a respectable fella. He has given a lot of service in this country. He's been as a policeman. And we respect all of our people on the front lines like this. I'm certain he's a good fella. I think he's a God-fearing man too. I think he's a good fella. But it's the person who made the appointment.
Oh, well, that's the problem.
That's the trouble that I got. Because even if, according to y'all, you're not the opposition leader, mind you, that's not a vacancy that is 2 years old.
Yeah.
Right? You got a lot of commissions that haven't been operationalized in 2 years. But as the presidents have been saying, they don't see the necessity. They saw necessity to have a commissioner of police, but not the necessity to have lots of the commissions, the Integrity Commission, Teaching Service Commission, Public Service Commission, Police Service Commission, you name it, local government elections. No necessity there to have those things operationalized. But a commissioner of police has to happen, right? So this should have gone through the leader of the opposition.
Correct.
And also the Police Service Commission recommendation. That's the route it should have gone. So they don't have an opposition leader. Y'all found it fit thus far to have no necessity to have no necessity to have a Police Service Commission. But a big leader, and I ain't talking about size, because it could be big in size, but it's small in thinking. And that's what the point we were making when Mia was here. Right? Here is a woman, her country is 186 square miles, but she thinks in 83,000 square miles. And we got 83,000 square miles, but we think in 186. Right? A big thinking leader would have said, you know what? I want consensus. in appointing the commissioner of police, because we know the kind of country we have. It's not like we don't know it. We know how these issues can become protracted. We know it, right? But he said, Minky, I walk into the minefield, right? And if the vex, they could carry the complaints to whoever they want to carry to.
But I want to add to that, because one of the things that I picked up out of Starbuck News yesterday was a headline that said the Parliament to send letter to Granger notifying of MP vacancy, and this was none other than Mansour Nadir that was saying that it is not the legislator's responsibility to inform the Guyana Elections Commission, because GCOM was saying that the Parliament didn't notify them of the vacancy. And now there you have Mansour Nadir saying that he has to send a letter to Granger. And then Air Fanal is going to come and say, oh, well, they got the opposition leader.
When you settle for less, when you settle for less, you know, temporary becomes permanent.
Yep, that's a motto that we should have.
That's
in
what we
our
have.
head.
A big leader would have embraced civil society, embraced the opposition. Mia Motley, irrespective of a difference, you can't help but admire the woman. She won 30 seats in the legislature, all twice. She said there must be opposition. There must be opposition. She could take up all 30. Democratically, she won all 30. There must be opposition. That's a big leader. That is why y'all would never surpass Mia Motley on the international stage. Right? Because you know what? Leadership don't conceal, it's reveal. And it has revealed the person Mia Motley is. You might like shit. The truth might hurt. Right? But who she is comes through. A big leader. But they still sit down with political parties. You don't have to get a buy-in from them, because it was nothing constitutionally mandating you to have a buy-in, but to say, this is where I'm heading.
I want to bring
what you all think?
I want to bring you back to something that that you were actually well, looking at yesterday when you were referring to Kamala and all of those things, we're talking about settling for less, right? And you made several points that we can take our Caribbean brothers and sisters, those neighboring countries, and use them as an example on many matters when they put country first, you know? Putting country first and having a non-partisan approach to certain matters.
Country first.
And this is one of the things that we're looking at here right now. There is nothing more important than these matters when it comes to putting country first. These are the times in which you come and say, one Guyana.
Yeah.
These are the times.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we might not have loved the outcome, but at least you would have said, he reached out and he spoke to Aubrey.
Yep.
He reached out and he spoke to Anu. He reached out and he spoke to, this is where I'm going. What y'all think about Higgins? What y'all think about Williams or whoever else was in the line? What y'all think? And then you might have said to the nation, right? Not a secret swearing in.
Yeah.
Not a secret appointment. You might have said to the nation, here is where we are. Right? High risk Saturday. High risk Sunday. High risk any day of the week with crime.
Every day.
Right? Look, Sarah talking about Stabrook. Look, Sarah talking about Border. We have to make a decision here. Right? We got to stem the tide of crime and violence in our nation. Right? And so, this is a decision I want to make. I know a lot of you won't be in favor with it. No. But over a weekend, you sneak in one. Right? And then you can come and say, oh, you like transparency. Accountability.
Good governance.
Good governance.
Democracy. You know?
Right? And you're swearing in people secretly. Me blame Higgins, you know. Me blame Higgins. Anybody want career advancement. And I'm certain for senior policeman, it is the pinnacle of your career to be commissioner of police. I understand that. He didn't appoint himself. Somebody appointed him, a power higher than him appointed him. Had to appoint him. You can't appoint yourself. Right? You can't appoint yourself. You got to blame them people. Y'all didn't like Granger, you know. Don't let me go this party. Right? Granger said something y'all didn't understand, you know. Till now, we didn't get it. He said, I can't swear myself. I can't declare myself. Higgins can appoint himself. It's the people upstairs. Them you got to blame. Right? Perhaps Higgins rightfully deserves to be commissioner of police or whoever else there is. I'm certain if you got a whole cadre of leaders at the top and none of them can become commissioner of police, we're wasting time. So you must be able to pick any one of them, but it's how it is done.
Yeah.
And that is what the people never understand. The how.
Yep.
Never understand. And they're not interested.
But it's a lot of times we have these discussions and we really don't think about the ripple effect and the impact that comes after when you go out and you do things with in such a haphazard manner. This word is a word that defines the PPP administration, haphazard, that phrase altogether, to do things in a haphazard way without thinking about the consequences. Now, the fact remains that this is not an issue with the person, but more importantly, an issue with the mechanism and the method that was used to put the person there. And I want to say that had Irfan reached out and had a discussion and had that inclusiveness of the decision making, then whomever was put there, even if at the end of the discussions it was still Higgins, that's the fact, at the end of negotiations, it could have still been him, right? But then he would have been equipped with the confidence of a wider population.
This speaking that one. But that's what I said, I understand Higgins' position. I understand it because it's nothing short of miraculous to see where Higgins came from to where he is now. Because under the last administration, let's put it out there, had serious misgivings about Higgins. As a matter of fact, Higgins, if my memory serves me correctly, was seconded to one of the ministries. He was seconded either to, what was the one that dealt with immigration and so on. That ministry under Felix or someplace else, he was seconded there. So to see his path back and to become commissioner of police is nothing short of miraculous. So I could see Higgins thinking this is divine providence, right? But it's the way in which the thing was done. Over the weekend, you just hear, well, man, this here. You wake up one morning, you see a man with a symbol on his shoulder. How did we get there?
We have to be able to be constructive in the analysis, like you're rightly doing, and separate the person from the real issue. We get misguided at certain times when you go out there and you put the person as the issue as opposed to the real issue. The real issue is not a person. The real issue is a process. And the fact that the PPP administration continues to go out there with total disregard for any other opinion and process altogether. Yeah. That is the problem.
So they blame the opposition for not having opposition leader.
And I just spelled out to you all of the nonsense. GCOM saying they need to have a correspondence from Parliament. Parliament saying they will be sending a correspondence.
So they can't even get their own business right.
So they're not getting their business right. And how dare them say at that point that they ain't got the opposition leader when they can't get their act together to ensure that the process is facilitated for that to happen.
Yeah. But all of this, if they would only try, could redound to their benefit too.
Yep.
Because a simple call, again, if you're a big leader, a simple call to say, Aubrey, I want to appoint a commissioner of police. What y'all doing? Don't make it difficult for me. Right? And to be able to say, I talk with these guys for a long time. I want to make a move, but they ain't seeming to get an act in order. And again, reaching out to say, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm contemplating. Now they're hiding behind and say, oh, it's a necessity. But it's a necessity to have a police commission. A police service commission is not a necessity. It's not important. An integrity commission. That is not a necessity in a functioning democracy. They said for even the local content we discussed earlier, they want to set up a local content secretariat, a petroleum commission, to oversee the sector and all that. None of that in 2 years. But then again, they're the same people who said they want to open back the sugar estates.
There you said it, You said it. The Natural Resources Fund Board, the Teacher Public Service Commission and those things. You've been talking about them practically every day. And the fact that they don't see the necessity in that, but then they go out behind closed doors in the dark of night, in the dead of night. There's a practice of them in the dead of night to do these things because they know it is wrong and it should not be done.
I know what is the struggle. If Irfan wanted to do it correctly,
he could have.
He could have put that commission together, the Police Service Commission, who he should have consulted with. He could have put it together and operationalized it last week, 2 weeks ago, right? But there's a benefit to not having it operationalized because you could do what he did.
Yes.
Right? There's a benefit to having people always acting, right? To having people always, what do you put it on? To have people on probation for 2 years.
2 years, some of them
3 years,
more.
4 years on probation, not because people don't want to advance, because there's a benefit. There's a benefit to not having the Integrity Commission. There's a benefit in not having the Police Service Commission and the Judicial Service Commission in place, right? Because the ministers and them could just usurp that authority and appoint whoever they want to appoint. Nice time, as you just said. Nice time. And then again, Twitter, they want to come and preach on we about what good governance, transparency, democracy.
Yeah.
Oh my.
The clown show.
Oh my.
It's ridiculous. And I am happy. Let me just say, I am happy that persons are very much aware of the nonsense. The people that go out there and try to defend these things are that they're in denial, self-denial. That's what that process altogether. Hopefully they're snapped out of it really, really quickly, because it is impossible for you to justify these actions, right? And again, I say that we need to separate ourselves from a lot of personalities and deal with the real issues at hand, because we get distracted and we get misguided. And I dare say conversations need to be had, and we need to basically tackle these issues head on and say, call it out, call it what it is. It's not democratic to go and do what you just did. It is not good governance to go and do what you did. It is not transparent to go and do what you did. It's impossible for you to justify these things at the level of the administration.
You know, personally, I'm constrained by what the good book says. Right? It says that while all things are permissible for me, right, while I can do all things are good for me. Right? It's like sugar. I can eat as much sugar as I want. I can do it. Right? But the effects. Right? You have a right. You got free reign. You got no Judicial Service Commission, no Police Service Commission that you didn't appoint. You don't got no leader of the opposition. You could do what you want. But is it good to operate like that in a democratic society? In a society where you expose good governance and the tenets of transparency? Is it right to do it like that? Right? What about a nice ceremony to install the Commissioner of Police? What about a nice guard of honor and some nice ceremony to bring in, even if he acting? Can we do things the right way? Is there a quick hurry swearing in?
Behind the
right?
door.
Tossing paper over your shoulder. Why is it always like that? You got something happening. You can't even invite the opposition. Where parliamentarians sit and are employed, they don't even get invited to events. You have a staff party minus the staff. You got a flag raising minus MPs. You could do it. You could do it. But is it right? Is it good for the country? How we can build one Guyana like that? And you swearing you own Commissioner of Police. How you can build a one Guyana like that?
The persons that try to defend it would never want to accept it if the shoe was on the other foot.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a fact that we need to look at. All of these issues, you need to look at it in a non-partisan way, because you're looking at things of national interest. And I'm going to repeat the point that I was making a little earlier. The fact is that if the opposition was engaged on that appointment, be it acting or not, if the opposition was engaged, and at the end of the negotiation or talks, that Hickins did come out as the man for the job, because that is very much of a possibility also, then he would have had the support, a more wide-scale support in actually carrying out his functions altogether. But now you put the individual in a position of that he's going to be facing lashes left, right, and center because of your wrongdoing as the person putting him there.
Yep. I saw as well the AG. I didn't expect the AG to say anything different. To say that the president did not breach the Constitution by appointing the commissioner of police.
The AG also said that when the ruling came from the court, that the two parliamentary secretaries should not be seated there, then they should just take a chair and put it alongside.
Yes, yeah, she did say that too. Even though the court, what's not called it? Wiltshire, Roxanne George, Wiltshire said that, you know, they were illegal. He said, no, we take a chair and put them.
He said,
he said that too.
No, he said, she said they can't be seated in there. So they can just take some chairs and put it alongside the chair that they're not supposed to sit in.
And same AG also said he had evidence of rigging in that case where his driver brought that case. He said he had evidence of rigging. He told the Chief Justice, yes, I got the evidence. And then when she was about to hand down her judgment, he said he don't want to pursue the case anymore. Yep. Same person. Right. So he said now there's no constitutional breach. But I expect him to say that.
Yeah.
You have to earn your salary at the end of the month. Anyhow, so
yeah.
Let me go down the road, folks. Let me go down. So these are the issues. These are the issues that are on the table this morning. These are the issues that we got to grapple with as a country and find a way forward.
Yeah.
Find a way forward. Them boys doing what they want. Doing what they want. You understand? But y'all live in first building. Be careful of the precedents. Y'all setting. Be very careful of the precedents. Y'all setting. You know, it is a time-honored principle in this country that the government gets the speaker and that the opposition, the substantive opposition,
yep,
if you want to say it like that, gets the deputy speaker. Then buying a time with her, be careful of the precedents.
Yep.
Y'all setting. These secrets swearing in. One morning where y'all wake when they got about 5 presidents in this one country. Hope y'all don't vex. Y'all see what happened in Venezuela. Be careful of the precedents they're setting.
Yeah, but precedence is very, very important, and the opposition is the rationality of certain things is what we have to look at. How they try to rationalize the things that are being.
They don't even try.
We don't go to the state of to the state of Venezuela is a whole different situation all by itself. But we need to be very careful. We need to nip things in the bud so we don't get to any level that we would not be proud of the country and that we are living in today. So most definitely we need to talk least our temporary
becomes permanent. Last thing we want.
Yes.
Last thing we want. But at the rate we go in, we head in there and in a hurry. At the rate we go in, I think that's our program.
Yes, most definitely. We've been keeping you guys a little extras these days.
Hundreds of you are here with us, folks. Ensure that you share. Dave Durrell, share. Carl Fordyce, share. And smash that emoji button. Romanan Fleming, Sandra Brotherson, share the programs. So all of folks get the valid and incredible information and smash that emoji button, folks. Smash that emoji button. Good to see each and every one of you. Love that these guys are here with us. Hundreds of you all. We're so happy.
Most
Big family.
Definitely
Big family.
Guys, continue to partner with us as you make these programs possible and continue to join the program as we go along the day. Lots more to be discussed this midday below the belt at 12 and then this evening in the ring at 8 p.m. But as you go, make sure that you do what Sherry said and share so persons would be getting credible and valid information as well. You are always quite an amazing set of persons to interact with, and this is very much of an interactive program. We take your comments as much as we possibly can, and when we highlight and we just bring in whatever you were saying. Someone was correcting you in the comments with the this is 166 for Barbados and not 86.
Okay, I'll give them some extras.
Right. So all of those comments we note. So we're so thankful for you to be here. Make sure that you join us all the time and make sure that you do your part in sharing and disseminating incredible information.
Guys, we got several platforms that you can contribute to our program to keep these programs going. We got Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, we got MMG, MoneyGram, we got Western Union. All of those are available to you to help us to move our programs forward. You need any guidance, WhatsApp us on our MMG number. WhatsApp us on our MMG number, 627-6963, 627-6963. That's our time. That's our number.
Have a great day, everyone.
Stay safe, guys.